Moments of Truth podcast with your brother Old God and Sandman. Going in today on this Monday afternoon. If you're listening on YouTube, I need you to do me two favors. As always, go ahead and hit that like button and make sure that you share this video. All right, man. Over the weekend, actually Friday night, we had a little live show, so we didn't even get a chance to talk about on Colin Kaepernick in the NFL coming to a landmark, decision. Well, today another story came out pretty much saying that Colin Kaepernick's lawyer believes that he will be signed with the either New England Patriots or the Carolina Panthers within the next couple of weeks, right here. But Friday, once again, when we were absent doing another show, the NFL reached a settlement over the lawsuit that Colin Kaepernick had filed against 32 NFL teams. Now, in that lawsuit, Colin Kaepernick accused NFL owners of colluding to keep him out of the league after he became a free agent almost 2 years ago. Now, yeah, man, this is what we're at, today. And before I get your opinion on this, I want to play just to give people a clear recollection of why exactly Colin Kaepernick did what he did, because a lot of people, kind of got lost in the sauce with everything going on. So I'll play a quick 2-minute clip. And then we'll get back to this.
Ultimately, it's to bring awareness and make people, realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust. People aren't being held accountable for. And that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for: freedom, liberty, justice for all. And it's not happening for all right now.
Do something that's involved, lost in your mind, and how has this kind of progressed that you make a stand?
It's something that I've seen, I felt, wasn't quite sure how to deal with originally, and it is something that's evolved. It's something, as I've gained more knowledge about, what's going on in this country in the past, what's going on currently. These aren't new situations. This isn't new ground. It's things that have gone on in this country for years and years and have never been addressed, and they need to be.
Will you continue, Colin, to sit? And continue to sit?
Yes, I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. To me, this is something that has to change. And when there's significant change, and I feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, and this country is representing people the way that it's supposed to, I'll stand.
Specifically, what would you like to see change in order for you to stand?
There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people. That's not right. That's not right by anyone's standards.
Colin, so many people see the flag as kind of a symbol of military. How do you view it, and what do you say to those people?
I have great respect for men and women that have fought for this country. I have family. I have friends that have gone and fought for this country. And they fight for freedom. They fight for the people. They fight for liberty and justice for everyone. And that's not happening. I mean, people are dying in vain because this country isn't holding their end of the bargain up as far as, giving freedom and justice and liberty to everybody. It's something that's not happening. And I've seen videos, I've seen circumstances where men and women that have been in the military have come back and been treated unjustly by the country they fought for, and have been murdered by the country they fought for on our land. That's not right.
All right, so I'm going to actually stop it right there. This is the original when he was back with the San Francisco 49ers when he first protested. The media, was there in the locker room. So I wanted to just, give a little context to the situation. So now we're up here. They kept the amount of the settlement secret for whatever reason, but they did come to an agreement there. Colin Kaepernick going to be back in the NFL. Sandman, I'm going to defer this one to you. I know we've been going back over the last year about this. What do you think about, Colin Kaepernick now about to be back in the NFL and settling his lawsuit with him?
We talked about this a lot, and I've been very vocal and outspoken in saying that I think it would be disappointing if he were to go back in the NFL, but I'm not going to say that quite yet. I'm not going to go back on my words, but I'm not going to say that quite yet. I'm going to take a different approach because this is a man that has gone through a lot. It's a man that took a stand where a lot of people wouldn't. and he got his job taken away from him because of that. He's gotten a lot of opportunities taken away from him because he decided to take a stance, a very strong stance on a very, very strong and deep issue that goes on and plagues this country, which is police brutality, oppression for Black people. And we all know why he took that stand, and is very admirable in that. Throughout that time, he's gained a lot of recognition. He's gotten almost on a different mantle when it comes to activism. A lot of people are comparing him to the Ali back in 1967 when he denied going into the Vietnam War, denying draft. I'm sitting here looking at his speech right now in regards to that because it makes me almost think of that, because Ali, when he got his boxing license taken away from him and he was threatening to go to jail, ultimately his goal was to get back into the boxing ring, and he was able to do so to provide for his family. Colin Kaepernick deserves to do that too. But where I can't help but to just go, damn, it's a little bit of a disappointment, because the NFL, unlike the boxing ring, is different because you're fighting mano a mano as opposed to fighting a whole fucking league, which you're in sight doing. And you've taken on a higher role than just a quarterback in the NFL. You've taken on someone as a leader, as an activist, to put yourself through 16 weeks of nonstop ridicule, nonstop critique, when you throw an interception, when you may not read a pass right, when you may not, they're going to completely dissect you and just totally destroy you. I just ask you, is it worth it? Is it worth everything that you've put up? And I ask you the question, are you now going to kneel again and make this an issue?
Yeah, that's a big,
So it's just a lot you put yourself through as well. So, I mean,
according to his words, he definitely should still be protesting. You know what I mean? Because police brutality hasn't gotten better. You know, all the things that categorically, all the things that he, you know, mentioned, you know, unless you can show us, you know, some real statistics where you can say, oh yeah, it's got better between time he's been out since the time that he, you know, is now going back in the league, you know, then I have to say he should still be protesting. Now they're talking about sending him to either the Patriots or the Panthers. The Panthers will make a lot of sense. You already got Eric Reid, you know, down here, who was his buddy, you know, in this whole thing, standing firm, you know, with them. Ironically, that'd be the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers. But we also got Robert Kraft. You know, that situation would work out. You saying, you know, him being behind Brady, you know. So my take on it is, you know, I would like to still see him, you know, protest. Now the issue was that they were pretty much, which we know was a fact, nobody wanted to pick him up. You know, even as a backup with all these sorry backups in the NFL. So we know for a fact that the NFL was indeed doing that, and they probably paid him a hefty amount. And now they say, you know what, you know, so I'm interested to see, you know, how this plays out when he signs with the team. How would the NFL respond? Are they going to not show the salute anymore, or is he going to stay in a locker room? Is he going to come out and still kneel? I'm interested to see, you know, how this goes, you know, moving forward. As far as the criticism, I mean, I think this is something he loves to do. And I think that he's like, you know what, man, I wanted to always play. I never wanted to stop playing. And now I got the opportunity. It is worth it to go through the criticism. You know how it is when you play, you know, when we was playing football.
Yeah.
We love that shit. You know what I mean? That's what he loves to do.
I'm going to ask you a question. Is Colin Kaepernick a sellout for when you go back? In your opinion, I'm not calling him a sellout. I'm just begging the question. I'm asking the question because a lot of people in our comment section are going to call him a sellout. Not all, but there's going to be some. What do you think?
I wouldn't call him a sellout. I wouldn't call him a sellout. I just wouldn't, you know, because it's just like, you know, it's a tough one because a lot of people, I can see why a lot of people would say that, but what would you do if you was in that position? This is something he was making his money, you know, doing. This is something that he loved. He spent his whole life since a little kid trying to get into this moment and playing the NFL and finally get there and being one of the best quarterbacks, you know, at the time, you know, when he was in the league. So no, I won't call Colin, you know, a sellout. You know, I would have called him that if he, you know, if his protest will be finished. I'm like, well, damn, but it was just a couple $2 to pay you and get you back in the league. And now it's like, you know, I'm done. So I would like to continue to see Colin continue, you know, to protest until the NFL stands up and tries to take an active role against these things that are going on. I know the NFL is just a company in the war, you know, we got that's a worldwide problem in you know, in particular the US, but I would like to see him do something. I don't think that they will. So, but yeah, I can understand why people would say that though. Definitely,
I agree. I'm not going to call him a sellout yet. I can't call that man a sellout,
right?
Especially if he continues his protests and continues to speak on his truth and what he believes to be true. Because the second he was blackballed out of the NFL, the protest wasn't stopping there. The team was just about to switch. I think the NFL, in knowing that, just said, "Now fuck that. We can't have this anymore. Let's keep this guy out of here." Now that he's gotten his money. And he's gotten his money justly deserved from the NFL in blackballing him and Eric Reid. And now that he looks like he's going to find another team, I think that if you consider yourself a leader, an activist, an Ali, a Huey P. Newton, one of the strong activists out here for the black people, you gotta sit down. And it's no, and we're not going to sit here and talk about it every week and get into it deep, but you got to continue that protest. You got to.
Right, definitely. So, you know, shout out to him. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. We know we will give your input on that. I can't wait to see what you guys got to say on that. But yeah, I mean,